viewing globe.
The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series. However, after a dramatic commercial break, Q-Libra is portaled away before being able to throw the fireball. Fireball! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I think we found our first blooper. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills episode review. Actually, a double review. It worked so well for me last time, I figured I'd give it another shot now. So let's see what happens when Gorganis' pet bird gets the big chair all to himself as I take a look at the 35th episode of TTAF, Emperor for a Day. Please make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see all of my videos. Ring the bell, get your notifications set up so you're notified of whenever I post brand new videos. And if you're interested in lending any financial support to my channel, please check me out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos. On Molecula, Gorganis and Lechner are having a little snack when Gorganis decides that he needs a vacation. He tells Lechner that he'll be visiting some planet of restoration, might as well be Ryza or something. He leaves behind a small computer that will automate the day-to-day tasks of the Empire and tells Lechner to only touch it in case of an emergency, and then leaves. Lechner immediately puts on a silly gold crown and declares himself Earth's true enemy, Lechner the Terrible. Meanwhile at the school, Swinton is in line for some sort of math theory test that's apparently also some kind of audition for early admission to Princeton? I don't know. Lots of questions about this scene. Definitely filed under that is not how that works. The point is establishing that Swinton is nervous about going to college and also realizing that leaving for college would mean leaving the Sentinels.
Excuse me, what?
These portals are interstellar. I think Nimbar can shoot one over to Princeton, New Jersey. I get that it's more convenient to have the team in one place for a number of reasons, but I don't think anything says that they have to be. Anyway, Lechner messes around with the computer trying to find a portal to Earth, but ends up sending Q-Libra there. After a Looney Tunes-esque drop from the sky, Q-Libra spots a train going over a tall bridge and destroys it, surely killing at least a small number of people. Nimbar signals the team and Swinton's tattoo flashes just as he's next in line. The other Sentinels show up to get him, and while they're sympathetic of him possibly losing his place in line, duty calls. He opens the door and gives the test administrator a line about needing to talk his cat down from a tree, and they apparently agree to hold his place in line? Nimbar tells the Sentinels about Q-Libra, but warns them to be careful. Q-Libra did not come from one of Gorganis' portals. It came from a cargo portal that originates from outside of their galaxy. They zap at the monster a little bit, who dodges all of their attacks. Q-Libra then powers up this big fireball attack that's actually a really impressive visual effect, and they even made sure that the fireball properly cast light on Q-Libra's face. That's a really nice touch that I wouldn't have expected them to catch. However, after a dramatic commercial break, Q-Libra is portaled away before it can throw the attack. Back in the cave, Nimbar says that Q-Libra is moving around randomly, even appearing in some portals that it should not have access to. It blows up a planet in one of the spots that it lands, and Lechner realizes this is going to prove that he's been messing with things, and that he now needs Q-Libra to destroy the Sentinels before Gorganis returns. He manages to send the monster back to Earth, once again in the air, giving us an even goofier, come on, really? Look from Q-Libra as it falls. Back at the school, Swinton is annoyed that he lost his place in line. I'm really not sure what he was expecting. I mean, just go talk to the administrator again, right? The others give him a quick lesson on cutting in line that really boils down to that exact thing. You told a lie to get out of the line, so just tell a lie to get back into the line. But just as he does, their tattoos flash once again. However, when they get to the cave, The monster isn't there, Nimbar swearing that Culebra had been there just a moment ago. The Sentinels are annoyed and they want to leave. Nimbar tells them that they can go, but be prepared to come straight back. And sure enough, just as they step through the portal, Culebra reappears and Nimbar brings them straight back. And Culebra has disappeared once again. A clearly frustrated Nimbar tells them to leave and that he'll figure this out. Back at the school, Swinton has made it into the test, but their tattoos are already flashing as we meet back up with them. The Sentinels debate going in to get Swinton, even though this may be another false alarm. Gordon opens the door and gives the administrator the cat lie a second time, and it works because they say he's an idiot. However, their tattoos stop flashing as Swinton comes out, but then they start flashing again as he whines about it. In the cave, Nimbar is coming unglued. Isolus was sighted in Paris, Ninjabot was seen almost simultaneously in Moscow and Toronto, Predaraptor attacking Tokyo, and now they're all gone. The Sentinels try to calm Nimbar down, but he is completely unhinged, saying they are near their final defeat.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
By the by, I'm leaving out two scenes where Gorganis calls to check on Lechner. They add nothing, they're just there for comedy. In the cave, Nimbar is so stressed out that he's regressed mentally to a childlike state. The only interesting thing that really comes out of this is that we learn that Nimbar was apparently a bit of a delinquent tagging amoeba in his youth. Gotta love a nice redemption story. Anyway, Swinton pulls the solution straight out of his backside, so much so that it references something earlier in the episode that I didn't think was even going to be worth mentioning. Swinton was sure that he was going to ace this math theory test audition, whatever this was, because of a random number theory that he had developed. And now he can use that random number theory to figure out where Culebra is going to appear next. And that works. Primarily because Culebra appears in the exact same spot as the other times, even dropping from the sky for a third time. Honestly, this is one of the best Nitron fights that we've gotten from this series. It lasts a good couple of minutes, there's a lot of action. It even goes hand to hand for a bit, as not only is the most useless shield in the galaxy knocked away, but so is Mega Caliber. Eventually, Nitron resummons the sword and finishes the job. The wrap-up of this episode leaves a lot to be desired. We get the classic irony of Nimbar declaring somebody that was using just random nonsense a master strategist, even smarter than Gorganis, and of course we get to see Lechner get what's coming to him from Gorganis. Let's read the sign. Episode 35, Emperor for a Day. Pros, nice to see Lechner get a focus, creative story structure, and fun to see Nimbar come unglued. Cons, a pointless story, the story flows badly, and Lechner doesn't do anything. We've got a new candidate for the worst episode of the show. Emperor for a Day gets 1 sign out of 5. The less we think about whatever the heck that was, the better. Let's take a quick peek at the second episode I'll be reviewing, episode 36, The Primal Scream. Dude! Emperor Gorganis activates a portal jammer to defeat Nimbar. Meanwhile, Lori is de-evolving due to a galactic virus, leaving the other Sentinels to race to reverse it while fighting Slagar at the same time. So, let's take a look at the 36th episode of TTAF, The Primal Scream. Only mentioning this really quick because it's something that I have mentioned before, but this episode starts with a different music chord. It's one that I think they've used before. It's a fast 4 notes. Da-da-da-da. On Molecula, Gorganis says it's a special day. No, it's not Lechner's birthday. It is Lechner's birthday, but whatever, that doesn't matter. The Salgoth asteroid has moved within range of Molecula. This means that Gorganis can place a portal jammer on the asteroid, which will prevent Nimbar from using the power portals. Lechner points out that Nimbar will probably send the Sentinels to try to stop this. This is where Gorganis gets enigmatic, just saying that Slagar, who's being sent to place the jammer because of the special environment of the asteroid, has special instructions if that happens. Indeed, Nimbar has already summoned the Sentinels, though when they arrive, he greets them as the alien fighters, telling them about Slagar and the portal jammer. Lori tells the other Sentinels to distract Slagar while she destroys the device. Sounds like a good plan. They head out for what I believe is their very first fight off-world. The plan goes as expected until Scorpio goes to destroy the jammer. Slagar spots her and screams, and for whatever reason, she stops. Slagar sprays some toxic acid at her and she falls down, and for some reason we zoom in on her thigh. They regroup and she calls for Nitron, but for some reason the formation doesn't work. She has Taurus destroy the portal jammer and they leave. They head back to the cave and celebrate, but Nimbar is concerned about the Nitron failure. Lori is holding her arm and looks sullen. Drew asks if her arm is okay, and Lori's response is, "I said it's fine. Let's go."
Excuse me, the did you just say?
Gotta love a nice script artifact line, huh? Nobody had asked Lori about her arm before, so her reaction does not make any sense. Back at the school, Swinton is telling Lori about a study date that he had the night before, but she angrily grunts that she doesn't care about it. She just wants to eat, trying to find a sandwich in her locker. Swinton remembers a sandwich that he left in his locker a week ago and forgot about, finding it now molded over. Lori snatches the sandwich away from him and eats it.
That's nasty.
Lori's behavior grows even stranger in the cafe. She's trying to write a speech for a pep rally, but she can't focus and get it right. And her hair is all messed up, and she's clearly sweating and just kind of out of sorts. Gordon comes in, honestly acting a little bit out of character by showing concern for Lori, checking on her after speaking with Swinton. She tells him to shut up in a way that's really angry and menacing, and to be honest, was actually kind of hot. Gordon then sees that she's eating a burger that's rare. Very rare. It's raw hamburger meat. Minor nitpick here. Gordon touches Lori's forehead and comments that she's burning up. Except that we can see that she's sweating. Now, I'm not a doctor, there could be exceptions to this, but usually someone who's had a fever and is sweating, that's a sign that the fever has broken. I get that they wanted to have her sweating because that's another visual symptom of what's happening to her, but they could have just had Gordon comment on the fact that she was sweating so much.
Get on with it!
Gordon's tattoo flashes, but Lori shows no interest in going. He tries to show her that her tattoo is flashing as well, but sees a wound on her arm where her tattoo would normally be. Also, he notices hair grow in on her arm, but then it quickly disappears. Freaked out, Gordon heads to the cave and tells Nimbar that something is wrong with Lori, but Nimbar already knows this. Drew and Swinton then show up. Drew wearing an aloe vera mask that she was wearing for a headache, Swinton in Shakespeare garb because of rehearsals for a school play his dad is making him participate in. Nimbar says that Lori is de-evolving, and it's been a hot minute for this, but we have another case of TTAF taking an idea from Star Trek The Next Generation. There's an episode of that show where the crew catches a virus that makes them de-evolve into animal-based kind of life forms that are part of their species' evolution. It makes sense in some cases. Riker de-evolves into a caveman. Sometimes it doesn't, though. Barclay, who is also human, de-evolves into some kind of spider creature.
I wonder what Pokemon it is.
Lori is de-evolving into a more primitive form of life, and if they don't fix it soon, she'll be stuck that way. The first key is finding the infection point, and by playing back the DVD, they see where she got hit by Slagar. Now, I was all set to make a minor apology here. Remember how I mentioned that for some reason they zoomed in on her leg, but the wound we saw was on her arm. So I figured maybe her arm landed near her leg and that's what they were zooming in on, right? Except that in the playback here, we see that they zoomed in on her lower leg, down near her foot.
Missed it by that much.
So anyway, Nimbar needs a sample of the slime in order to form an antidote, and it just so happens, I'm pretty sure Nimbar actually says that Gorganis has sent Slagar back to the asteroid to fix the portal jammer. They have a short fight, and Apollo scoops up some of the slime that landed on a rock. Whoo, heroes! Sometimes this show manages to catch me off guard. Nimbar says his analysis and the formulation of an antidote is going to take several hours. The Sentinels ask him to hurry, and they leave. There's a scene transition, and we stay in the cave. The Sentinels come straight back, saying that they can't find Lori anywhere, and Nimbar says the antidote is ready.
Space is warped and time is bendable.
At the school, the Sentinels find a group of students running away in a panic. Drew stops one, and he says that Lori went crazy during her speech, throwing furniture and then turning into a monster. She comes running down the hall after them, and yeah, her hair is a little crazier, a little bit more makeup. Again, being honest, I find this look more attractive than monstrous. The Sentinels handle this very professionally, pinning Lori to a locker and making her smell the antidote. Okay. There seems to be an effect, but it doesn't entirely work. Making her drink it might have had better results. She breaks a lock in her bare hands and runs off with the Sentinels chasing her. Next scene, they've not only found Lori again, but caught her at Drew's house and are tying her up. Lori kicks off her shoe in an attempt to get loose, and we notice a wound on her foot. They did bring it back around. That was why they zoomed in on her foot. Their tattoos flash again, and Swinton says he'll go see what's going on while they stay with Lori. In the cave, Nimbar urges Swinton to go stop Slagar from activating the portal jammer, but he insists on figuring out the Lori situation first. Watching the fight footage one more time, Swinton notices that her foot brushed a large plant. Nimbar says he should have caught this sooner. That plant is known to carry the regression virus. Swinton needs to go and get some of that plant to bring it back for a real antidote, and also stop Slagar from activating the portal jammer. Another little nitpick here, Swinton transforms alone, but they play all 4 trumpet blasts for some reason. Anyway, the two of them have a nice little one-on-one fight. Apollo gets knocked down near the plants, Slagar fires at him, and destroys the portal jammer. That's a little bit of a creative way to wrap up that plot line, but it was also a little bit disappointing. Apollo grabs some of the plant and leaves. Swinton gives Nimbar the plant sample, and at Drew's, Nicole almost sees Lori. Again, not that she looks all that different, but Drew makes an excuse and manages to get her to leave. Back in the cave, Nimbar has reformulated the antidote and congratulates Swinton on his dedication to Lori and his team, as opposed to Nimbar's dedication to the galaxy. They have Lori smell the dry ice fumes, and she's transformed back to normal. Oh, the episode's not over? Oh, we're gonna have like a comedy wrap-up with Gorganis and Lechner. Okay, that's fine. Gorganis says he will remember this day when he rules the galaxy. And Lechner says he can also remember today because today's his birthday. And gets zapped for bringing it up again. Okay, ha ha ha. All right, let's read the... Wait, it's still not over? Back at the school, Lori's cover story is that she did makeup and props for a shock gag to get everybody excited for the big sports ball game. The Sentinels come to sign up to attend the away game, a pep squad, I guess. Anyway, they're really just checking on Lori, and she very sweetly thanks them for sticking by her. Hey, Gordon says, what are friends? And yes, he said friends. And tattooed teenage alien fighters for. Weird. In this episode, Nimbar called them both the tattooed teenagers and alien fighters. Now Gordon calls them the tattooed teenage alien fighters. They kind of shied away from the name Galactic Sentinels this time around. Anyway, it's time to read the signs. Episode 36, The Primal Scream. Pros, Primal Lori is very attractive. Unique locations and story elements. And warmth and friendship at the end. Cons, Slagar destroying the jammer is anticlimactic, Lori's transformation is overblown, and the two plots kind of clashed at times. Not amazing by any stretch, but Shakespearean compared to the previous. The Primal Scream gets 3.5 signs out of 5. Just to comment really quick, this episode, but also the previous one actually, weirdly feel like they're from earlier in the show's run. The focus on name-dropping things, characters don't feel quite as locked in character-wise as they were in other episodes, etc., etc. I'm not sure if that's actually the case, especially since the episode guides are pretty much almost lined up at this point. But hey, clearly sometimes that worked and sometimes it didn't. Next time on Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills episode reviews, Lori dealt with a virus this time, but the entire team will be next time. Let's take a peek at the 37th episode. Take 2 Galactic Sentinels and call me in the morning. Dude! The common cold almost causes the destruction of the Earth when it sweeps through the ranks of the Galactic Sentinels, even Nimbar! Meanwhile, Emperor Gorganis sends Isolus to reverse Earth's temperatures. And that is going to do it for another 2 Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills episode reviews. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching. Now that the video's done, you can let me know what you thought of these episodes, as well as my review of them, down in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you smack that thumbs up button and let me know that you enjoyed this video. Until next time, heroes, may the power portals protect you. Let's take a look at what happens when... Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to another Tattooed Teenage... I don't think any... And that he needs Q Libra to not have a cat mess with a tripod. Thank you, baby. I'm sorry. Giving us an even goofier... come on. They head back to the cave and celebrate, but Nimbar is concerned about their ability. The Sentinels ask, I should mention the antidote. Nimbar says his analysis is going to take several hours to then make an antidote. That wasn't even worded good. Another little nitpick here, and gets zapped for bringing it up again. So, what? I'm still a rock star.
Hey guys, my name is James.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're Mostly Speaking Sentai. We're a podcast where we introduce our guests to the beautiful world of Super Sentai.
A variety of guests that include musicians, comedians, artists, and more.
And we use what we just watched of Super Sentai as a springboard into absurdist and possibly goofy conversations. So please, check out our podcast wherever podcasts are found.
What's the name of our podcast again? Oh, it's Mostly Speaking Sentai.
Bye-bye, guys.
Look at these shades. There's some Dino Charge. There is? Pink. We got the red Dino Charge, and we have another red Dino Charge.
Hey, you know what? I think, I mean, don't quote me on this, but I mean, like, he'd totally win in a fight. He's like twice the size. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably not. I mean, like, but this one, though, I mean, I don't know.
Literally a Megazord.
I know, might lose that one, but that's alright. You guys want to
Oh.
Bye, guys.
So I'm here at Woodbridge Park, where Yoshi is training his friends. Shirtless. Yeah, shirtless.
No! Look at this naked... What's up, man? What's up, baby? Good to see you. You gonna play?
No, I just worked out. I'm good.
He didn't know work out.
I just did, man.
I don't know. Where's the...
I'm nice and fresh.
Damn it, man! Come on, bro! Come on, CrossFit!
I'm cheating like crazy.
Sorry.
Hello!
How are you?
Good.
Hey. I just watched your videos.
Oh, thanks.
It's awesome, man. Use your morphers. Here we go.
And there's the nod.
Okay. Now focus.
And turn just so you can see the slit of the leg.
Of course.
Wait a minute, no, he did it completely different. We did it completely different that first time.
I think you added your own flair.
Hello, people of Los Angeles and the Philippines. I'm here with some Power Ranger.
American Power Ranger fans. We are only the second best fans because you guys are number one. You guys and gals, number one. Love you.
Yeah! Power Rangers!
This guy owns this house.
Yes, he does.
With that,
I saw Seamus's chip.
What?
He wasn't looking. He
What?
stole my dip.
Bruno!
What?
No!
look at this.
I've been here so many times, it never gets old.
I know, right?
Michael Jackson, Red Ranger.
That is so legit.
And the cameras come out. Hello, bro.
It's Andre.
There it is.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
Good to see you.
From Chris. From the Philippines. Chris from the Philippines.
Chris from the Philippines. I'm Andre from the Americas.
General.
Where's your movie, boy?
There is. Turn around.
Oh, this is weird. But I like it.
Confirmed. Confirmed. Wait, no. Embargo.
Please, a moment to reflect.
Ninja Pizza?
Ninja Pizza. Vanish.
Dude, out of taste.
Hey, it's Rocky
What's up, everybody? Steve Cardenas, aka Rocky the Red Power Ranger and the Blue Zeo Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Power Rangers Zeo. And I live here in LA, and I heard about this art show they're having here today at Meltdown Comics. So I decided I wanted to come down and be a part of it. So I'm hanging out here, meeting and greeting with all the fans right now, doing photo ops, taking pictures with everybody, just kind of getting it out there, and then and letting people know about the art show they got right inside these double doors here.
Hello, I am Jezer with the Illuminerdi. Welcome to the Viewing Globe. As promised, I did tell you guys before on our last Psycho Ranger set review that I was going to be reviewing this guy, the Power Rangers in Space. He's actually from the Boom Studio Comics, the Green Psycho Ranger. So let's take a look at the box. Ooh, come on. Alright. This is the box. There's the back of the box. This is the side. So let's open up this figure and see what we got here. Ooh, okay. So no special, nothing special here, other than it is the Green Psycho Ranger. So So that's cool. He's got the same exact mold as the red, the blue, the black Psycho Rangers. There's that. Looks really cool. He's got the lightning effect like his brethren. So he's matching with his brethren. He has got the cool and amazing green Psycho Dagger that comes with it. See if we can see that. It's a really cool Psycho Dagger. The details on it is pretty cool. Let's see if we can zoom in. Hold on. Alright, let's zoom in. Alright, look at that Psycho Dagger. That is cool. Let's take a look at the figure again. So this is the figure. Same exact mold as the Psycho Ranger set. So if you guys want to check out that review, you can. I'll show you the box again. So this is the green Psycho Ranger. Comes with the dagger, the little blast effect, and the lightning hands. Side of the box. So if you guys want this box, I typically just throw them away. So if you guys want them, you just let me know. Let's see. So they got the little blast effect. You can put the blast effect on the dagger. Doesn't make sense to me, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. So let's see. Put this in his hand. If I can. Sometimes the hands are very finicky. Does he have another set of hands? Okay, so he does come with another set of hands. He's got the 2 closed fists. Let me take this out for you. So he does come with another pair of hands, 1 closed fist and 1. Let me zoom out. 1 closed fist and 1 open fist. Really cool. Let me zoom in on for you. Look at that figure. That's the green Psycho Ranger. If you guys have read the Boom Studio comics, you'll know how cool this character actually is and how he kind of betrayed his team. But that's the green Psycho Ranger. Oh my gosh. Adding him to the set of the Psycho Ranger set. So if you guys want to pick this up, this was actually, I got this off of Hasbro Pulse. I think he is still available. This is the actual first team that we got to finish, the Psycho team, so that is really amazing, and it's just a really nice figure. So if you guys want to pick this up, head over to Hasbro Pulse. They might have it on there. If they don't have it on there, you might want to check eBay or Hasbro. He is really cool. By himself, in my opinion, by himself, he's just okay, but like if you put it together with the whole team, it's even more amazing. I did actually repaint my red figure that I got with the Lost Galaxy red and Psycho Red dual pack, and I painted him silver as Zane. So I have actually 7 Psycho Rangers now. So I have a team of 7 Psycho Rangers. This is an amazing figure. If you guys want to pick it up, check over at Hasbro Pulse. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the viewing globe, and be sure to like and subscribe to the Illuminerdi, because we are always watching.
Rangers, recuerden que las mejores entrevistas de la red están en la Cámara de Poder, todos los jueves a las 8:30 p.m.
Gracias, comandante. Ahora sí va a ser divertido. ¡Sí!
This is Austin St. John, Jason, the original Red Ranger. You are watching the Morpher Network.
This Morpher Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop Convention and Ranger Stop and Pop. Have you ever wanted to see all your favorite Power Rangers together in one epic convention? Go to Ranger Stop! Ranger Stop and Pop. March 5th to the 7th, 2021. Atlanta, Georgia. Ranger Stop 8. November 11th to the 14th, 2021. Orlando, Florida. Get your tickets now.
Oh yeah, so it's all about the Power Rangers, but to be honest, what can Power Rangers be like without morphers? Right?
What are they without the devices that give them access to their morphing powers?
Yes, I do have the Zordon's access to all the morphers. But hello everyone, welcome to the Viewing Globe, and today we're going to be talking about Power Rangers and Super Sentai morphers. And welcome to this panel where we're all talking about Power Rangers morphers. And today we're just going to have a great time talking about the morphers, what are the difference between the Power Rangers and Super Sentai. But I just want to take this time. Well, my partner Quasar Red and me, Red Star, we just want to take this time to thank the Illuminerdis for giving us this opportunity to discuss the Power Rangers and Super Sentai morphers on this panel about the Viewing Globe.
Yes, thank you very much, Illuminerdi. We feel honored, and let's just roll with it.
Yep. All right, let's get started. Like, which morphers do you want to discuss first?
You want to go in order?
Oh yeah. Let's start with our old classic
Power Morpher, aka the Dino Buckler from Zyuranger. Interesting how Kyoryu Sentai is on the bottom and Zyuranger is on the top when it shouldn't it be like the other way?
Yeah, it's so what seems to be the difference between like Power Rangers morphers and the Super Sentai morphers? Like, care to go for that?
Yeah, sure. The main difference, there's really not a whole lot of changes, though I think the primary difference is the stickers. Like we were just saying, it says Zyuranger, Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger on the Dino Buckler naturally, and it says Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the American version. Also, the American version of the toy was also released with the Blade Blaster. Now, I'm not sure if there was like another release where it was just the morphers, but I think that's how you got them back when the show was airing during season 1. So, So what do you overall think of the original Power Morpher?
So, I don't know. The original Morpher, it's so funny that you can see it as a belt buckle, but it's not just any belt buckle. This belt buckle has a holster, so that means I can put it right here and make it look like a regular belt buckle to fool anyone who thinks that I'm Power Ranger. So if they see this, I'll say it's a trending buckle that you go to any like local belt buckle shop. So you can get your Batman, you get your Superman or your Marvel belts. But this will confuse some people. Like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a Z. It's a Z. Just say the Z. Nobody will know. But it can be a morpher. But the only difference is that, the signs up here. Like, I have the Japanese version. Like, that's the huge difference. So this is Zyuranger, and on top it just says Power Rangers. So it's a huge difference. But the sound effects are also different, don't you think?
Is that the re-release that came out a few years ago, or the original one from 1992?
So what I remember is when Zyuranger released their morphers in 1992. What year did they release the Power Ranger morphers at that time?
93.
1993. So it was 1991 or 1992, if I'm correct, if I'm correct or so, that's when the Zeo Ranger regular Morpher is out. But by 1992, they released an exclusive that is Dragon Ranger, the Green Ranger's Morpher, which is now on like very high in demand, and the price is just going nuts. And I don't know anyone out there, if there's any Power Ranger fans that would go crazy to spend that money for that kind of Morpher.
It just depends on who's the most willing. Yeah, one thing I've always loved about the Power Morpher is, it just looks like a very unique object. Like at first I didn't notice it looked like a belt buckle till, I saw it in the show. But just holding it, it looks like you're not holding a regular thing. It looks like you're holding something special or something unique. So that's cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's see. The Power Rangers Morpher, they have the same function. The sound effects is a little bit different, but I think the holsters, are the holsters the same?
I don't know if the original Morpher came with the holster, nor do I think I don't. And I think the Dino Buckler did come with the same with the holster too, but
yeah. So the only difference I can tell from like the marketing for Power Ranger Morphers, the Mighty Morphin Rangers Morphers, and the Zeo Rangers, is that the Zeo Ranger comes with a holster for your Dino Buckler. Mm-hmm. So that's a good feature on the toy. But the American version, they have like just the Morpher itself, the coins, and the if you want to get a deluxe box, it comes with the Ranger gun as well.
Right. Also, I think I forgot to mention the sticker, like the original Dino Buckler also has the Zeo Ranger logo on it, whereas the American version, I don't think it does or not. So,
all right.
So next one.
Yes.
Our two favorites.
Yes. The next one is
Zeo.
Zeo. It's all about the shapes. Oh yeah, it's all about the shapes. Put the circle round.
It's funny. Despite O-Ranger being a military theme, they never really addressed the ranking. Or I'm not sure if they did or not. But yeah, the ranking. That's why in Zeo they have different ranking numbers, but I don't think they ever officially say that's the reason for why their helmets are shaped like that in the O-Ranger. Anyway, so the Zeonizers, aka the Power Brace, PR's first double 2-unit Morpher. And I think relatively the Zeonizer and its Japanese counterpart, the Power Brace, they are practically the same. Like, you can buy either version, it's the same product. They both make that beep, 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 beep noise when you open it up, and there's only electronics in the gold one. And yeah, overall, there's really no difference between them.
Well, there is a slight difference. The Zeonizers in the Power Ranger world were created by crystals and by the power of Zordon's engineering.
Mm-hmm.
But the Zeonizers in the Super Sentai were created by military Air Force.
It was created by military Air Force who tapped into the ancient powers of Pangea.
Yep. So so it's so odd that how can an Air Force could have this sort of resource and technology to create these morphers when in the Power Ranger world, it takes some cosmic universe by Zordon and these special crystals to turn these morphers and turning the uniforms with different shapes like a circle, a triangle, a square, a star. Since when is a star a shape? I don't remember that.
Clem, did you take your medicine today?
Oh, I just drank some, no.
Yeah. So, yeah, Zeonizers, they're awesome. They look shiny. They're neat. And I think toy-wise, no difference. In the show, there was definitely different origins for them. Like we were just talking about, the Zeonizer, the power braces come from an ancient civilization here on Earth. The Zeo crystal comes from a special object that came from space. So a little interesting yin yang there.
It's from space, but in Super Sentai, they can make it by hand, and I don't know why. It's Power Rangers Zeo and the O-Rangers? Yeah, the O-Rangers. Yeah.
O-Rangers, yeah.
The O-Rangers, if they can make it by hand, and by the time it's in the early 1990s, they use the power of the cosmic universe with Zordon and these crystals to make these morphers. Why don't we have them in real life in the military right now?
Who knows? Maybe we just need to tap into some ancient civilization's powers.
Yes, I've been tricked. This is I can't believe this is reality. My fantasy's ruined.
It's okay.
Let's move on to the next morpher.
Yes, the Turbo Morpher, aka the Axel Changer from Getsu Sentai Ka Ranger.
Yes, this is the morpher, and what do you think is the difference?
There is a primary difference when it comes to the show. In the Japanese version, can you pull it back up right quick? Can you pull the picture back up?
Oh.
So in the Japanese show, the key is black. The key has, a black handle, and it's gray. And it also has a sticker on it, RBG yellow. Oh, sorry. They have letters on it that stand for red, blue, green, yellow, and pink. But in the American version, it's all silver, like
this on the screen.
Actually, I think this is like a custom picture, but yeah, there was no black on the on the prop used in the show, and there was no sticker. But interesting enough, the toy version of that has those details as well. Also, instead of saying the Japanese version, it says Car Ranger. The American version, it has Turbo Ranger on it, which ironically enough was another Sentai series.
Yeah, and the only difference I can see by looking at these morphers is, of course, that you mentioned that the sticker with the red, green, blue, pink, and yellow letters, the first letters of those color terms on that sticker on the morpher. But the keys, in this picture, the key is the key handle is black, but in the Japanese version, it's silver, right?
No, the Japanese version, it's black. In fact, the Power Rangers actually have little customized versions of their keys. They have little key rings, coming off of it. Whereas in the Power Ranger one, it's all silver. I think the button might be gold, but other than that, it's just all silver, looks metallic-y. And what's funny is you can actually see the custom when they use the Sentai footage, you can actually see the custom key rings when the Rangers use them in the Megazord.
But do you really think it is so odd that in the American version, their morphing is just driving and then put the key in? But I don't know. It seems like in the Super Sentai and Power Rangers, they have a hard and difficult time of inserting the key in the morpher. But it's the only difference I can put out for these morphers is the way how they morph. Rise of Thunder, Turbo Power! I'll just spread my arm and we grow!
I don't really...
In the Super Sentai, boom! There we go.
Right. Funny you mentioned that about the key. I think I've read somewhere that when the actors had to film their morphs, they actually missed the slot, so they would have to... So when, they didn't feel like reshooting, they basically shined a flash, they added the flashy effect to cover up the fact. And when you watch Forever Red, they forgot to put this detail in, because you can see TJ, when he morphs into the Red Turbo Ranger, he misses the slot. So
okay, but
The thing I can point out between the difference between Turbo's Morpher and the Car Ranger Morpher is that I feel like the weight is a little bit different. Like the functions, the features are the same, but it's just that I feel like the Car Ranger Morpher is like the lights in the LED lights in the Morpher has a brighter tone, like a brighter light in it when you activate the Morpher.
Are you talking about the toy version?
Yeah, the toy versions.
I think it's maybe the same. There might be slight difference in the lighting, but both kind of make the same beep 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 beep.
Yeah.
So, you want to move on to the next one, or is there anything else?
Now the next one is
Let's Rock It.
Let's Rock It or Install Mega Ranger.
Yes, the Astromorpher / Digitizer from Power Rangers in Space and Denji Sentai Mega Ranger. So this Morpher is really cool looking. And now the is that the newest release of it?
Nope, this is the Japanese version that I have.
Didn't they make a new version of it that came with the Battleizer?
Yes, I have that, but it's sealed in box, and I can't bring that out because I feel like I'm too much into him. Yeah.
Toy wise, I believe there is absolutely no change. Like it's like same function, and like when you open the switch, you see like little codes for when you like 3, 5, 5 morph, and then it like has other codes like for when you want to summon the tank or the Megazord, and there's even a game function in both of them where you have to like push like each number it shouts out, you push it, and you just keep going as long as you can. So that's a neat function from. It's cool that both toys kept that in.
Yeah, for what I can point out between the American version of the Mega Ranger Morpher is, I don't know. I feel like like they're both great, except I feel like the Japanese Mega Ranger has that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's probably the sticker, or it could be the buttons, or I don't know. I did some research that they are the same, but it's just I don't know. I feel like the top part, the logo,
a little different.
Yeah, I feel like the American versions of the logo on this Morpher, it wears off very quickly.
Or maybe it
wears off quicker than the Japanese version. It's long lasting, and like this Japanese Morpher Mega Ranger has been, who knows how long it has been alive, and it's still in good condition. Look at
97. Yeah. I had I was like sorting some toys out for a friend of mine a few years back, but and one of them was the Astromorpher, and I really wish I kept it. Oh, two facts I want to point out about this Morpher, or at least Space Morphers. When you can actually see like the shell for the Astromorpher on a few props in Power Rangers in Space, which is basically hinting that Andros had to, use like the pieces of other morphers to make special devices. And also the Silver Ranger's Morpher, like I said, it has no change, and I believe the Silver Ranger's Morpher also sings the Mega Ranger theme song.
Yeah, I feel it seems like the Japanese Morphers in Mega Ranger series in the season has like more interactive like features than the American version, because the American version, it's all about the morphing and all the buttons that they display on it. But with the Silver Ranger Morpher, it has more features on the Japanese version.
I'm not sure about that. I'll have to double check, but I think they look like both versions are relatively the same, like even the game feature and stuff. So next one.
All right, the next one.
The Ginga Brace from Myper, or aka the Transmorpher from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Yes. Now,
this Morpher is, I don't know, like it has this very unique style. Like, look at the chrome, the gold chrome circle at the center, and on the bottom is like your choices of which color you want to be. So if a ranger accidentally turns a different color, you're stuck with that costume.
Just like with the Tokugers. The Transmorpher / Ginga Brace, something I didn't actually notice until, looking these up, is that, you have the option to be pretty much any ranger you want with some of these early morphers. So that's cool. If you want to be the Red Ranger, you have that option. You want to be the blue, you want to be the green, yellow, or pink, you can be. Like, I think it's because when I first saw the morphers, mine was stuck in the red. The first morpher I ever got was like the growl phone. More on that in a bit. And it was mainly the red, and you couldn't swap it out with any others. But that's a cool function that if you want to be any ranger from this team, you have the option to. So I think overall, like Ginga Brace and the Transmorpher, I think they're basically the same exact toy for both lines. There might be some slight differences, but I don't have them. You have one of them, so. And they both like they have two buttons, one that works for the morphing, one that works for making the animal noises.
Yeah, this is so fortunate. So the morpher that I'm showing you right now is the Gingaman morpher. It is not the Lost Galaxy version.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've done some research. They are the same, but I cannot actually find out the difference. It's pretty hard. I looked into it, look at the morphers, the details. The only difference I can point out is 0. That's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And Lost Galaxy, it is a great series, and the morphers is very unique in its own style when Lost Galaxy and Gingaman are part of it. But the difference of like the morphers is nothing. I am just out of my mind.
But the next morpher, there is quite a bit of difference.
Okay. Now we're getting interesting. What is it? Do you want to do it?
Lightspeed Rescue.
Boom.
Yes, the Light Rescue Morpher, aka the Go-Go Brace from QQ Sentai Go-Go 5.
Go 5.
Do you have this morpher?
So I don't have the Japanese version of this morpher, but I can point out the difference between this morpher and the American version of the morpher.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look closely on the buttons, where it says SE and the arrows,
mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So the morpher that is on this display is the Japanese version of Go-Go 5. The American version on the buttons, if I look at the morphers closer, there's a button that has a picture of the Ranger logo, the Lightning logo, and it has a capital C on it. And what it looks like is a Megazord button. So the only difference between the Go-Go 5 and the Lightspeed Rescue is the image of the buttons.
But when you have the morphers in person, they are much, much different, because the Japanese version, it's like this big. Someone showed me this at Morphicon. I was like, "Are you sure this is the right thing?" And he goes, "Yeah." It's so small. It's basically the size of this Mystic Force shield, pretty much. That
it's for children, of course.
I know.
Both weren't that crazy or that hyped for us small Power Ranger fans at that time.
But for the Japanese version, it actually also has a game feature as well, and you can also summon the Zords, and there's a little animation of like the rail rescues coming and like the rescue Zords being deployed, and then the Megazord coming together. So that's really cool. So the American version, it's bigger. looks slightly more show accurate. The Japanese version, it's smaller, but it has more functions. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the huge difference between the Lightspeed Rescue and the GoGo 5 Morphers. So I actually prefer the more features. So yeah, GoGo 5. And I did see that Morpher around some shops when I was in Tokyo. But let's move on to the next Morpher. Now this Morpher, let's see, what is it? Let's go back in time.
Race into another time. Yes.
It's Power Rangers Time Force Morpher. Now let's look. Do you see any difference?
No.
Mm-mm.
So, Chrono Morpher, aka, listen closely, lean in to hear the name. Chrono Morpher, Chrono Changer.
They're all the same, and it is so weird, and it's so, it's kind of cool in its way. But in Power Rangers Time Force, the way they morph, it's actually the same style that they did in Time Ranger. They did the same form, but the difference, the Time Ranger, they wear their radiation suit or something.
Yeah. Time Ranger, they have a special radiation suit underneath.
The special Hulk pajamas.
Yeah. And I think they also have a blue jacket that they, or when they do morph, they have to throw off their civilian clothes, and then they already have these, protection suits on, and and for the most part, I think even the hand movements are the same. And I am terrible at the Time Force morph, but I think it's Time Force.
Yeah, Time Force, and they do Chrono Changer. All right. And so for this Morpher, like the Chrono Changer or the Chrono Brace,
Chrono Changer,
yeah. There's no difference. The functions are the same. The features are the same. The buttons are still the same. Like I just can't spot any difference. So this is actually a good Morpher that didn't need to make any changes for the American consumers. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Sound effects, I think, are virtually the same, and overall, maybe there's a little more heft to the Japanese one or something, but it's just you gotta get them in person and and see for yourself. But the next one is another apples and oranges kind of,
and it is
Gao
or Power Rangers Wild Force. All right.
Yes. Now this one is a big difference. Do you know the differences?
Actually, no. Do you want to point it out?
Sure. So I think, like I mentioned before, the Gal phone, or G phone, I think is also called. It has swappable heads. It also has the wings that fold out, for the eagle. Basically, how when they morph in both shows, the phone would turn into a little robot or a robotic animal version. This virtually, this toy, recreates that pretty well, but the American version, it only has the lion. You can't fold the wings out, you can't swap the heads. It's basically, that's the primary difference between these two. And that's where, that was one of my first Morphers, and so I kind of always thought, oh, you can only be the Red Ranger with this, but then saw the Japanese version. I was like, oh, you can swap it out. That's cool.
So it turns out the Japanese Gao Ranger Morpher has more additional accessories to change parts for your Morpher. But in the Americans, you can only get the Red Ranger. So if you want to expand your universe of your expand your imagination by becoming different Rangers, I think the Gao Ranger Morpher is a good one choice. Yeah. Now that is a very good huge difference between the Super Sentai and Power Rangers. But let's move on to the next Morpher, and it is Go Power Rangers, go Ninja Storm, let's go!
Sentai, ni 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 ni. So the Wind Morpher, aka the Hurricane Gyro from Hurricane Gyro, aka Ninja Storm. And I think the primary difference between these two morphers is that the American version doesn't have chrome. Like, can you pull the bottom part up, or can you pull it up again? So the part where the buttons are, that's chrome on the Japanese toy, whereas in the American version, it's looks more like this,
soft plastic.
Soft plastic, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. The toy version looks a little fancier, but the American version is a little more accurate. So, and yeah, it's cool. And the spin feature is the same. So.
Yeah, so I looked into the details of the Hurricane Gyro Morpher and the Ninja Storm Morphers. They're all the same model, except a few little touches on the chrome and the designs of the colors. But the same features, same sound effects, same features and functions. Yeah, this is actually a good, decent Morpher that only made a little small changes, but it's actually good. And I like and the story is also the same for the Hurricane Gyro and the Ninja Storm as well. All right, so this is a great Morpher, and now we move on to the next one, and it is my personal favorite, or
Bakyu Sentai Abarenja.
Bakyu change. Oh,
there's a light in the distance. Yeah, so Dino Morpher, aka Dino Brace from Bakyo Sentai Abarenja and Power Rangers Dino Thunder. For this Morpher, you had the option to swap out the heads, and you could be any of the main three. And I think there isn't really any changes that I've seen. The main I think even the sound effects in the American version make the same, and that's funny because Abba Ranger, they had some interesting sound effects for the dinosaur noises, Triceratops was like, oh, and the pterodactyl was like, tiki! And so, yeah, I think that was carried over to the toy in the American version. So
the only difference between the American version and the Super Sentai version is the sound effects of when swapping the heads of the dinosaurs on the Morphers.
No, both can do that. It's just and they both make the same sound effects. And if there's any other differences, I currently don't see them. But you got the Morpher with you?
Well, this one, when I remove it, there's like a shell covering it with that Morpher. But the American version is the American version does not have a protective lens. They don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. So the only difference is that, and I don't know, just by looking at the designs, I feel the Japanese Morpher is a little bit bigger than the American version by the looks of it.
Right.
But this is but yeah, the only difference is the size and the head parts on the accessory is the protective lens that is for the LED lights. That's
right.
But overall, these are great Morphers. It's close to the same, but I got this one, the Bakyu Danger, or Super Sentai's Dino Thunder is actually my choice. Yeah. All right. Now,
sorry, there was one other thing I just remembered, but oh yeah, do you wish the Rhea Soldiers had this kind of function? Where they had unique Morphers for, they had unique heads.
I don't know, man. It's for the Rhea Soldiers and Dino Fury, their Morphers could be the same, could be some differences, but we don't know how they're gonna morph. We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have to. Maybe they'll use their swords to morph.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. Now the next Morpher is, I know it's yours. Yeah.
Yes, the SPD Delta Morpher / the Deca license from Dexo Sentai Deca Ranger. I'm probably butchered the name, and Power Rangers Space Patrol Delta. So do you got those? Do you have them? Morpher?
I don't have the Morpher, but just by looking at these, just by looking at the features, there's no difference at all. This is actually the same Morpher, same features, or can you point out any differences?
Well, actually, there's a few. There's a little detailing, like a little there's some sunken ends parts right here where the white is. It's like ridge, and also there are 3 functions for the Deca license has that the American version didn't have. It has this is the ID mode, this is the call mode, and this is the judgment mode. Whereas with the American version, they kind of merged the Deca license and the cell phone into one setting, and they don't have, it doesn't really have like the judgment scanner mode. Like it just kind of instantly says guilty or something.
Guilty,
like
really?
Yes, but overall, I think also the American version might be a little bit smaller, but overall both are solid entries. Like both could work. Like if you're cosplaying or something. This is more screen accurate. The American, but if
more fit for kids.
Yeah. Yes. And so anyway, yes, SPD license, Deca Ranger. Overall, one of my favorite Morphers from one of my favorite seasons. So really cool. And I also love these stickers. You can. So.
All right. Now let's move on to the next Morpher. It is
Magino.
Yes, Mystic Force or Magi Ranger. Now look at this Morpher. It's a cell phone and also a magic wand. So if you're a fan of smartphones and the world of Harry Potter and medieval knights, get this Morpher. Otherwise, you're not a wizard.
No. Now,
be magical or be non-magical.
It's your choice. Now, what was cool about this, this is from the show's point of view. The way the Magi Rangers got their powers was, like they already had the cell phones, like they just were just given them and said, "Here are your Morphers, go fight evil," pretty much. In the American version, there's actually a little bit of detailing behind it because in the American version, the Morphers were actually wands, and at first, the team were like, "Hey, this is a little inconvenient for us to always be carrying around." So, Udana transformed them into cell phones. And, so that was a little cool thing for PR to do, give us a little bit of a backstory behind their appearances. Now, this is probably one of my favorite cell phone morphers. Probably my favorite cell phone morpher because it just has a really cool, sleek design. The golden color scheme looks great on it. And, it also has a unique function. You have it on closed mode, you have it on cell phone mode, and wand mode, Magino. So that's neat.
All right. So I can also point out these parts on the Morpher is the American version. It seems like the the touchpads for the buttons. It's a little bit smaller than the Magi Ranger version. The Magi Ranger has it seems like I don't know, like the Magi Ranger, like the part where you're like when you receive a text, the screen, the logo of the Ranger members. Yeah, I feel the Magi Rangers, like the stickers for the Rangers, like whatever color you like to be, you can actually switch it out in Magi Rangers like phone, but the Mystic Force, I don't think you can.
Actually, you can. I've seen it done.
Oh yeah, you can?
Yeah. I think the primary difference is the Magi phone is slightly bigger and has a few more details than the American version.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also the button pads. It's not as like looking at Magi Ranger's version is more like mystical. It has that magical like design, but but the American Mystic Force.
Yes.
Yeah. Mystic Force, like it's screen accurate for like any simple like morphers that you can just own, but there's only small changes or small differences, but not overall like a huge difference. Now the next morpher has a huge difference.
It
is Geki Ranger and Jungle Fury. Now these morphers have like their own unique ways to morph. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. So yes, this was the first time PR tried their own original morpher idea, and some have either said, it's a cool idea, it's cool, the what was their name again? Yes, the Solar Morphers and the Geki Changers, and I think it's a interesting idea. I don't know if it was like perfectly executed, but kind of cool for PR to do their own thing. And the toy version, however, leaves a little bit to be desired. It's really small. You can barely I don't even think a lot of kids could even put this on their ears.
Yeah.
But naturally the Geki brace, much bigger, has the sound effects. Very like I said, these are major apples and oranges when it comes to comparing these two. Prop wise, it's cool, it kind of has a little bit of an Iron Man theme, where you can be talking and RJ could send you information. But like I said, not perfectly executed. So what do you think?
Jungle Fury is trying to make their own Google glasses. And it turns out like it's a good fashionable stance, but I kind of find it a little bit strange to use as a kind of a tool to morph into a Power Ranger. But Geki Ranger has like fighting gloves. It's like you're ready about to brawl, and even though the theme is about like martial arts and it's all about the feline tigers and cats. That's the theme. It's all about the fist because those ferocious feline animals use their fist or paws or hands and stuff. But do they use sunglasses? No. The only feline character that I know that use sunglasses are the Pink Panther and Chester Cheetah from Cheetos.
Wow, that actually makes
more and enjoy a bag of Cheetos. Just get the Jungle Fury Morpher with shades. Unless you like to fight evil, put on your gloves and feel the power of the tigers and cats and cheetahs or other like feline type animals. Just put on those Geki Ranger gloves.
Yes, very, very interesting for their first job. I'm not against PR, doing their own morphers in the future. It's just interesting. Yeah, very interesting change, but
yeah, very interesting change.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a good choice. Now the next one is
Samurai. Go Samurai. By the way, that button, the main button and the top, it kind of makes me think of a Cheez-It.
Oh, geez.
Yes, so the primary difference between the Samuraizer and the Shodo phone, is what I believe it's called, is that the Samuraizer could not turn into a paintbrush. It visually it looks pretty similar, they both teams still do the painting midair swipe.
Earth, water. What is this? This is Avatar: The Last Airbender in a samurai version. What are you doing?
Whereas the Shodo phone turns into a paintbrush.
I kind of, so the only difference I do see in the Samurai and the Shinkenger Morpher is the colors of the, no, actually not the colors, is the monitor screen of the morphers. Like Shinkenger, you see the screen, it's actually a sticker that has all the options like the phone call, satellite, and the other additional features you see on a cell phone, and also it has the mountain of Mount Fuji or some kind of Japanese mountain on the sticker. But in the Samurai Morpher, it just says it's Morphin time. That's it. So I cannot. So if I own two of these, I only have one feature in the Samurai. Just have only access to one feature. But on the Shinkenger phone, I have an upgraded version of the Shinkenger iPhone 10.
Clever detail I want to mention in Power Rangers is that we actually the Shoto phone was actually used for Lauren in the Red Samurai Ranger. That was a cool detail. And what's funny is you can actually see because it's Sentai footage, you can see Jaden and Lauren's dad using the Japanese version of it in the flashback when they defeated Master Xandred. But so that was kind of clever. People might have noticed that, and so they actually kind of give us an in-universe reason for why Jaden's dad's Morpher looks different than his. So that was neat. Yeah.
All right. So there's some small differences, but overall, these Morphers have the same functions, same details. But it's just I feel the Shinkengers has like a little bit more features that added up to than the Samurai. Now the last Morpher, huge apples and oranges. It is the Ninja Steel Morphers. Ninja, and Ninja Steel.
Can you pronounce do you know how to say the name of the Japanese version?
Nippon Sentai Ninja and Power Rangers Ninja Steel.
No, the sword. The name of the sword.
No idea the name for the sword, but the only difference that I'm pretty sure you and I can spot is the morphing sequence is that in Ninja Steel they use that bottom ninja star as a morpher way, but in the Japanese version it's more like a weapon.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a clever I think this is a better example of PR doing their own thing, because I've heard that this prop in Ninja was not used very often. Like it was kind of a rarely seen thing. So giving it a huge role in Power Rangers Ninja Steel made a lot of sense because the show was focusing on ninja stars and forging Ninja Steel, and it also kind of looks like a homage to the original Power Morpher, because you have to take the ninja star, put it in the center, so that's neat. The toy version of the Ninja Blade Morpher, it doesn't really capture the spinning look very well, so that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so in the Ninja, the Japanese Super Sentai version is the Morpher is from the sword and they spin the shuriken. But in the American version, they just put that star in another ninja star and spin it again. So huge difference. And it seems like the sword is more believable to morph than like a ninja star, to be honest. But in the American version, of course, every helmet visor is a ninja star style. So yeah, it has its ways of morphing, but overall, huge difference on the morphers, but great shows and very decent shows.
Did you say morphering?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm morphing, bro. Just kidding. All right. Now that is, I believe that's all of the morphers, right? Yeah.
Yes, that is all of the morphers that we chose to look at for today. If we decided to go for every morpher, we would be here a lot longer.
Yeah, so I think that's all we have to discuss about the morphers. And I had so much fun discussing it with my partner Quasar Red, and we just want to thank you for the time to be part of this panel on the Viewing Globe. And if you guys like to find us about the Morpher Network, it is on YouTube, Instagram, and you can also find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm always around there. You probably see like that. Right. And also want to give a huge shout out to Illuminerdi for giving us this opportunity to do this panel for the Viewing Globe. So you want to say something? Like, thank you?
Yeah. Thank you, Illuminerdi. You guys rock. Check out the Viewing Globe podcast.
Check out the Viewing Globe podcast and also the Power Rangers Super Sentai Morpher panel, and just have fun. It's all about the Power Rangers. So until next time, see you then.
Hello, my name is Carl Withers, and I'm going to tell you why I love Power Rangers. Okay, so I was 12 when I started watching it. I was in high school. I had like 2 friends at the time. Like, I was bullied a lot, and I didn't really fit in with the crowd, as they call it over here. The first Power Rangers that I actually watched was Jungle Fury, and then I discovered more. The two series that actually stuck to me was Time Force and In Space. Like, those two are my main comfort zones. So if I'm having a bad day, I'll turn to one of them. And if I'm having a bad week, I'll probably watch all of it, like all the episodes. Probably both of them. It depends if I'm having like a bad week. I stuck to Eric's character the most in Time Force because I just felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. I felt like I had no friends. I felt like I couldn't turn to anyone. So that's just like, you know, I stuck to that character. Like, I related to him in a way. Like, it was just, high school was so hard, and I didn't really end up going to like the second year. I did the first year, and then I was like, no. So I was homeschooled until I was 15, and then I actually went to high school, and then I graduated this year, so I actually don't go anymore. When I was 13, like before I left high school, I had a really bad problem with biting, punching, and kicking. My attitude was terrible. But in high school, I was this shy person who had practically no friends, no one to turn to. And I'd turn to the school saying that this is happening, and they wouldn't really do anything about it. They would just leave it. It was like, oh yeah, we'll sort it out, but they didn't. So I just ended up really leave it. But I've literally watched nearly all of the series. Like, the only one I haven't watched is Beast Morphers. I haven't got around to it. But I'm excited for the other one that's coming out. I think it's Dino Fury. I'm not really on Twitter that much. So yeah, in a way, Power Rangers really helped me, and it's helped me become a better person, to be fair. And I'm glad that I still watch Power Rangers to this day, because it helps me with my anxiety. It's a comfort zone that I can turn to when I'm down, when I'm like, just like, you know, like sad, or I'm just, you know, like in the mood to watch Power Rangers, because sometimes I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. So honestly, that's literally the reason why I love Power Rangers, and I'm just glad that I found something that is literally, you know, like something that is just helps you in a way, because the episodes are just like about, you know, like just accepting who you are and accepting others and just not judging people, because I see it that way, and I don't know if you guys do, but I know I do. And you know, it's okay to get help. But I didn't really get help. I did try counselling, but that was a fail. So yeah, like as soon as I was watching Power Rangers, my attitude died down. I wasn't biting, I wasn't kicking. And this was in like 2 days of watching Power Rangers, like, you know, for like 2 days straight. Yeah, that's literally the reason why I love Power Rangers. What am I doing with my hands? I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. Yeah, so thanks for literally watching this. I'll catch you later.
Hello everybody, my name's Edward Chances. You know me as Edward Chances Production on YouTube. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at It's the Man. The reason why I love Power Rangers is because it was one of the first shows on TV, like Sesame Street, that taught me all about diversity. It taught me no matter what race, religion you are, anybody could be a ranger. And also the movie, the 2017 movie to be exact, taught me together we are more. And it means that basically we all could come together as one. And I think that message means more impactful right now than it been when the movie first premiered in 2017. So may the power protect you all.
What up, what up, what up? My name is DJ Rivers. You may know me as part of Starlight Studios. You may know me as an admin for many of the Ranger pages on Facebook. You may know me randomly online, whether it be on MNPR Toys with Bruno, Fan Film, or even back in the day with Joe as we used to do the Ranger wrap-up together. But the one thing I'm most proud to be known for is being a Power Ranger fan. So I want to give a huge, huge shout out to the Viewing Globe for not only reaching out to all of us, but just putting all of this together, because at the end of the day, we love Power Rangers. I'm definitely an OG. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the first Power Ranger show that came on back in my day. And I just remember thinking how cool it was to be any one of those characters. You could have been the book type. You could have been the quiet type. You could have been the jock. You could have been the life of the party, or you could be the popular girl, or none of those things. And it was about inclusivity and being part of a whole while still teaching lessons like taking up for the environment, don't do drugs, or say no to bullying. You know what I mean? And you mix that with martial arts and choreography and explosions and all that good stuff, and you have a match made in high learning heaven, but at the same time keep the attention span for kids who just want to have fun and escape to a world where good triumphs over evil. Not the worst thing. And the coolest thing about it is we're talking about over 25 plus years of different themed seasons where they would introduce you to different concepts that you may not have known that you were into before. So whether it was about being a samurai or an adventurer or just a teenager or even a public servant, I think it's really awesome that they incorporate all these different fields of occupations and walks of life, but ultimately it is about doing good, protecting people, doing the right thing, and essentially just being good heroes. And from all that comes the Ranger community, which not only am I honored to be a part of, I'm grateful to be a part of. Because at the end of the day, we are different walks of life. We all have different circumstances, different backgrounds. And the one thing we all have in common is unity through Power Rangers, which ultimately means teamwork. And from all that really is friendships and family, and including the Ranger actors themselves, which is wild. I mean, listen, I could talk about my love for Power Rangers forever and how much I appreciate this community, but we'll leave it at that for now. To everybody else out there, continue to love Power Rangers. Be proud to love Power Rangers. You're in good company. And ultimately, if you're ever having a bad day, put on an episode. Watch these good individuals triumph over the forces of evil. Until next time, positive energies out there, and may the power protect you. Oh, wait, before I forget, be on the lookout for the upcoming Ranger web series, Bloodline of the Grid, starring Christopher Kamen Lee, Andros himself from Power Rangers in Space. I'm in it. I'm honored to be in it and write and bring this whole project to life with Chris. It's absolutely the next chapter of the Space Ranger saga, and Andros is not quite the way you remember him, so lots of twists and turns of the next adventures of the Space Ranger crew, and it definitely covers a lot of Ranger lore and introduces a lot of new elements of Ranger lore. So anyways, Bloodline of the Grid coming soon. Please be on the lookout. We appreciate you. Mwah!